Hello, so you may think that NFTs, non-fungible tokens, are yet another bubble in a world full of bubbles. How can easily replicated JPEGs that can be screenshotted at a click have any real long-lasting value? This is just another pyramid scheme to come out of crypto, which, let's face it, has a long and checkered history when it comes to dodgy schemes. Well, you'd be right, and you'd be wrong. Today we talk NFTs. We explain why they are a bubble, and we explain how they are going to change the way we think and operate. The more venerable followers of this vlog, anyone over the age of about 45, might recall the days when content had value. Records, for example. Blokes, mostly, would spend years, decades even, building up a collection of records. As plain a signal of amorous intent as he could ever give would be to record a mixtape of his favourites and hand it to the object of his affections, I should say. And then along came digital technology, iTunes, Spotify, and all the rest of it. And the value of that priceless record collection went pretty much to zero. And the object of his affections, now his wife, declared he would have to put that priceless collection in the attic if they wanted the relationship to succeed, or better still, give it to a charity shop. And so did the bubble of analogue tech deflate. Now, nobody owns anything. Stuff isn't an asset, it's a burden. Generation Rent hires the house, the Rolls Royce, the holiday home. It doesn't own it. And this asset-like generation prizes experience over material things. And the LP-owning hero of our story makes do with a Spotify subscription, which takes up far less space in his home, which, thanks to an inflated housing market that is verging on the fraudulent, is of a much lower square footage than he would ideally like. Most people who own homes are like rich people or old people. Generation Rent disparages. We don't want homes. We don't want the hassle. Generation Rent wants wealth, but it's less bothered about physical possessions, so the story goes. They don't work in the real world economy. They work in the digital economy. In fact, the bubble in not owning stuff got so bloated it had Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum declaring in what must be one of the most misconstrued statements ever uttered that by 2030 you'll own nothing and you'll be happy about it. Well, surprise, surprise, it turns out that people do want to own stuff. In fact, owning stuff, whether it's caves or glinting gold nuggets to hang round one's neck together with shell necklaces, or shares in Tesla, or originals of easily replicated digital art designed by artists with groovy names like Beeple, is about as basic a human urge as there is, superseded only by eating, reproducing, and keeping safe. What the easy replicability of digital tech did was to devalue content and make ownership much harder. Now NFTs have come along, and they are, to misquote Donald Trump, making ownership great again. For sure, NFTs are a bubble. Bubbles always accompany new technology, but bubbles also serve a purpose in that they accelerate investment and adoption. Without the railway bubbles, the tracks would not have been laid. Without .com in 2000, nor would the cables. Tulips were a bubble, and 400 years on, the Dutch still rule the roost in flowers. Scorn bubbles at your peril. Remember Frisbee's law. A bubble is a bull market in which you don't have a position. The first to declare something a bubble are always outsiders who missed out. How many times have the media declared that the Bitcoin bubble has burst? Now the media are declaring that the NFT bubble has burst. Figures recently published by nonfungible.com show that the average price of an NFT has plummeted. They always use the word plummeted. It's so much more sensational than gone down. But it's plummeted by 75% from a peak of around $4,000 in February to about $1,000 last week. Well, whatever. It's a 75% correction. That is normal in crypto land. How many 75% corrections have there been in Bitcoin? I've lost count. $1,000 last week is still 10 times higher than the average price of $100 being paid 6 months ago. When digital came along, easy and instantaneous replication meant nothing was scarce anymore, so content was dramatically devalued. Thanks to blockchain, digital scarcity has now been made possible. The NFT is essentially a digital token representing ownership. Anyone can view Beeple's Every Days, the first 5,000 days, the artwork that recently sold for $69 million at Christie's, but only one person has the ownership token. That ownership is now verifiable, digitally secured, potentially divisible, and easy to transfer. Every Days can be copied and pasted, but the token cannot be. That is, assuming that the underlying platform, Ethereum, is secure, which is another matter. Most NFTs don't have any value. The majority of submissions on NFT art markets do not sell. Most art in the real world has little value too. Some is worth extraordinary amounts, however. Enough people have to believe in it for it to have any value. Banksy's work is $1 million art to some, graffiti to others. If an NFT gets a lot of media, its value will increase, just as the stock in a Hollywood star will. If it gets none, it will be the equivalent of the unemployed actor. But the implications of independently provable digital ownership go way beyond works of art. NFT art is just where the current focus is. We're going from a world, as philosopher Naval Ravikant said the other day, where every protocol has a token, to where every decentralized application has a token, to where every valuable digital representation of an object or a person has a token. Public blockchains will be the title registries for everything of value. Ultimately, NFTs will authenticate the world. We will finally know who owns what is genuine, and what isn't. The implications for content creators are enormous. Online content might even have value again. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back with another video, probably not in quite such a stunning location. This is the south coast near Hastings, but I'll be back with another video very soon. Until then, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye.